Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive HD Maganac Auda Custom / Ahmad Custom. Now these are one of those variants for the Maganac. When the Maganac, or the HD Maganac was actually announced, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were expecting the variants, because now the Maganacs have a base format, but they, depending on who used it by a specific character, they also have some differences in variants. So for me, when I always thought about the Maganac, sure, the basic format is also what comes into my mind, but the version that comes to my mind first is the version with the large arm, which is, I believe, is the Auda Custom. So in this video, I'm only going to be showing you guys Auda Custom because in this kit they do give you all the parts to build either versions, but you can only build one because, once again, these kits only provide the basic parts to build one Maganac. So if you want to have both versions, you need to buy a separate normal HD Maganac to complete the other version. So I will show you what parts are for the other version, but yeah, sorry for that limitation. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So, as usual, we'll go with the components. So, first of all, what you could get, of course, is obviously the Maganac Auda Custom. One of the biggest features that's in regarding this kit would be the simple looking shoulders and the large arm. That works as a weapon and multiple functions as well. So, other than this, here's what you're supposed to get. So, oh yeah, I guess I should move this over here. Okay, so for the Auda Custom, this is what you're supposed to get. You get this, basically, other than the large arm, and then you pretty much get the basic weapons for the Maganac. So we have the shield, definitely nice looking shield, and definitely looking very, very efficient compared to some certain shields. Number two is the, I believe this was the beam rifle for them, a very simple beam rifle, and then we get a nice metallic purple sticker here for the scope. And then we get their axe. I believe this works as a, I believe it was similar to like a heat axe as far as I remember. And then we get a axe holder to store it onto the back skirt. And then we get a extra left arm because you can actually attach this to the giant arm as well. And then we get two shield connectors. This one is this one is to connect the shield to the arm like your typical shield, and this is the connector that if you want to store the shield onto the back. Pretty basic. And then here we have what you're supposed to use if you want to make the Ahmad Custom. So first of all, for the Ahmad Custom, biggest when it comes to weapons, other than the basic Maganac weapons, this is what you also get: a very AK looking or something like that, more special looking machine gun. There's a handle in front, but this one does not fold, so just keep that in mind. And no stickers for this one. This is one of those machine guns where you slap two pieces together, put the end tip and then the handle, and you're good to go. And then here we have the regular stuff. So, as I said, other than the head, you can make all the other parts. So these parts are for the side skirts, because I believe this one uses the same side skirts as the regular Maganac. Let me actually check the image. Yep, those are the exact same side skirts as the regular version. But these are actually different looking versions. Of course, I am showing you guys this, but when you're building yours, you don't need to follow this. You can just make your own version if you want to do so. Here we have the back skirt armor. I believe this should be also kind of similar to the original, but I cannot guarantee that. But yeah, I believe this does look similar because the Auda Custom uses is actually a much more larger version and seems to have extra thrusters going on the back. So here we have the back skirt, and here we have the shoulder armor. Definitely wanting a different looking shoulder armor, more bulkier and more larger. I'm not a big fan of this design, so I'm going to skip that. And then here we have the backpack. The backpack, if you're using this backpack, you cannot store the shield on the back because for this one, like the original Maganac, we have a hole there and a more simple looking backpack with two thrusters, while this one looks more compact and has like 4 thrusters going on. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then here we have the arm parts. Since the left arm is a claw arm, a big giant arm, you don't use these parts, but if you're going to build this, you're going to have to use these parts to make the other arm, obviously. And then here we have these yellow parts, which are actually the chest parts of the kit. So if you look at the chest, these are the same regular ones that the original Maganac uses. This one is actually like a slightly different design here. As you can see, yeah, less lining there. So most of these parts can be swapped out. The only problem would be, number one would be the arm, because you have to take off the joints and such. Number two is the head. You won't be having a sticker for the eye section right over there, and then you won't have the faceplate for the kit. And taking off the faceplate from these kind of parts are not going to be easy. And then on the inside, you need to have that yellow piece that goes between the heads. So yeah, if you had an extra Maganac, this is going to be much easier, but since I don't, oh well. And here are some actual leftover parts. We get 2 polycap leftovers, nothing too special. And then these 2 parts, which are actually the shoulder joints that goes inside the shoulder armor. These are actually meant for the original Maganac, but once again, they do not give you the original Maganac parts. They almost give you, but there are some parts lacking, like the shoulders. Okay, and other than that, here we have the sticker sheets. So sticker sheets, these 8 go to the shoulder each side, front and back, so which is why we have 8 of them. This number 1 is the eye sticker, which I'll point out where it is, and then here we have the scope sticker, and then these 2 gray/brown stickers goes onto the shield right over here, top and bottom. Alright, and then we get some more slides from 0 to 9 in a very fancy font. Two lines of big ones and 2 lines of smaller versions. Okay, let's get on to the review now. Let me get this down, and we'll go over the articulations. So first of all, let's go with the head. Now, this kit had a very simple build and pretty solid, but some parts just don't move that well, especially the head. So the head, you can see the eyes. I thought it would be just a normal, pink eye like a Zaku, but still, actually, it's one of those like sensor type eyes where it has like those lines going on. So that's a sticker, and then the head doesn't really move that much. It can go down that much, up not so much. 360, I'm actually having trouble with that. And this is the yellow piece, yellow piece that I was talking about. If you want to make the other head, you have to take this part out, which is inside the head. Okay, and then let's get the body. The body, nothing too special going on here. The main connection between the top body and the lower body is a ball joint using a polycap. Well, it does have some movement, but I don't think that's supposed to be like that, or not intended. And the 360 twist, I'm gonna say almost possible, because the chest is actually colliding with the back skirt armor, so I'm not gonna force it. Okay, let's get the backpack. As I mentioned, the backpack are pretty simple looking, very basic looking backpack. We got 2 thrusters, and this is where you connect the shield connector. So one side is a round peg, and then the other side is a square peg. And you can do this, and then connect the shield like that. Pretty simple. And also, since we did talk about the shield has this like clipping area. What you can do is basically you can clip the gun right over here. Now, of course, you can do this while having the machine gun and then connecting to the backpack. It is possible, but you cannot do this while having it on the arm, because the joints actually collide. Okay, so let's get the shoulder. The main connection between the body and the shoulder itself is a ball joint, so which is why we actually have a nice forward and backward movement going on here. And then the arms, for the large arm, it can go to the side 90 degrees. I believe it should be the same for this one, I believe, almost. Yeah, you can go to each side to the 90 degrees, and obviously we have a 360 twist here, and same goes for the large arm as well. And your hands are your typical ball jointed hands right over here. And then we have a nice bend that goes more than 90 degrees, and the large arm should also bend more than 90 degrees. That's pretty good. And then for the large hand, this is also a ball joint, which is why in the manual, if you want to, you can attach the normal hand like this. Although it looks kind of a little bit awkward, or if you have 2 of these large arms, it might actually look pretty good in some degree, I guess. But yeah. And the big giant hands, these fingers do have some articulation since they are connected to ball joints. Of course, the thumb is actually a separate ball joint, so you can have more movement. But the 2 fingers, each of them have a ball joint. But problem is on the middle section here, they're actually connected, so which is why your movement is going to be limited. So if you want to modify that, you're going to have to cut through the middle and sand them down. Okay, and then as I mentioned, these yellow parts for the shoulders are stickers. And then the front skirts, they come as a single piece with the ball joints connected, but in the manual they actually tell you to cut the ball joints. So which is why we have individual movement. And all for these parts, they're all color separated. So that is very good. And then these parts on the side are connected. The side skirt are connected to ball joints, but yeah, they don't really have that movement despite that. So they will pop out easily if you're not careful. And then so because of that, the legs can barely go 90 degrees to the side, and I'm pretty sure that's going to pop out. But we still do get a nice side swivel going on here. And then the legs can go about 90 degrees to the front. Back skirt itself does not move at all, so you're going to have to, it doesn't really go to the back section as well. And then we have a nice double jointed bend going on here as well. And your feet are your typical ball jointed feet. Alright, so that we basically seen the basic articulation. So today I'm just gonna go with my old style because this is pretty simple going on here, because with the Maganacs, there's so much stuff you can do or make your own customization. So yeah. So here we have the battle axe or heat axe. I believe on the manual. Let me check what it's called on the manual. The heat tomahawk. Yeah. So the heat tomahawk. You can attach it to the back skirt right over here. Once again, the square peg, square hole, square peg, and I believe the other version does have this as well. So no need to worry about that. Now, despite how the axe looks, it's very simple looking, or tomahawk. For you to attach it onto the hand, you have to do the annoying take out the handguard and do the thing. And yeah, it works pretty well. So I'm not gonna actually show you guys that. It's a pretty simple weapon. And then let's see. Let me just get this closed up. For the beam gun, it's pretty simple. You just need to plug the weapon into the hand, and you're good to go. So nothing too special there. And for the shield, what you need to do is that on the right arm lower section, there's a hole over there. You just need to plug it inside there. So, and then you just need to plug it in. So you have two options whether to put it on the side or on the lower section. Being a big shield, that definitely has some, play value to it as well. Because I felt like the smaller the shield is, there's not you're not going to be using it too often. And if you're wondering if I could attach the shield to the large arm, the answer is no. There is no connection or hole for the shield as well. And finally, I guess there's only one thing to show you guys. It would be that we have the machine gun right over here. Yeah, and you can pretty much just use it on this version as well. And if you're wondering, yes, because of the handle thing, you are able to do the double hand pose. But since this doesn't really hold on to anything, we'll give the large arm the other hand. And then, yeah, you can actually attach the handle over there. Of course, it's kind of tricky to do in front camera, but there we go. You can actually do the double hand pose thanks to the large and long arm. It's much more easier than I thought. And that is pretty much it for the reviews. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive HD Maganac Auda Custom / Ahmad Custom, but my review is more focused on the Auda Custom. As I mentioned before, the other Ahmad Custom has a more bulkier look. Even there's a different head design. So if you want to make both versions, I suggest you buy a extra normal Maganac to basically make both. Sorry that I wasn't able to show you guys both versions, but they are practically the same articulation, same quality, but just different design. I just prefer the larger arm onto this one as well. And with that aspect, you can just pretty much make your own version of a Maganac. So there's a lot of pros and cons with this kit. But I say pros are much more. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the Maganac Auda Custom. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out. So please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.